understand a few things that you definitely need to know. By the way, I'm Mex from the Mexcreationtv, trying to give you all these very important updates regarding to what you call the law, the travel, and very important tips for you to help you to live in these Gulf countries, and how definitely you can definitely cope up with kind of situations regarding to what of these labor laws and you need to know. Yes, how do you definitely get to pass to what we call the security guard interview questions? Yes, for someone who has never been security, will definitely not tell you the truth of it all that you need to encompass yourself, or you need to do for you to make sure that you can go or you can pass the security guard interview questions, especially in these Gulf countries, not only in Qatar, but most of these Gulf countries. In this episode, let us try to look at some of those important tips. What definitely do you need to know, and what are those very, very important things, or what are those mistakes that most of you tend to do when you are going for these interviews. Remember, when you are talking about these interviews, it's not like when we had before back, it will be done by Skype. Now, the state of interviews changed dramatically in a very different direction, that the person who is recruiting you is going to come directly on ground to see who is recruiting, and is that the real person that is recruiting. That is what is happening to know. For most of you who are aspiring to come into what you call the security sector, or to have a security guard job as your startup, definitely should be aware of these things that you're going to find them when it comes to the interview. Yes, first of all, let me try to talk about the mindset of who, or you yourself, are you prepared to go to that interview job? Are you prepared? It will start by what you call having your documents. Yes, the documents I'm talking about, we are talking about what you call your passport, that is going to entitle you for you to get what you call a visa. For you, before even you think about what you call a security guard interview questions that have to go for interview in the Gulf countries, yes, definitely the first thing that definitely you need to consider, or you need to look at, is what you call the passport. Do you have the passport? Yes, if you have the passport, yes. Again, let us move to go. Again, the number 2, you need to know that you are medically fit. Medical fitness right now, it's a requirement for you if you are going for what you call a security guard interview question, because most of these recruiters have found that they've hired people who then, after entering into the country, they've ended up failing what you call the medical fitness test that is being carried out in most of these countries, and they've ended up losing what you call money and the subject of it all. So they are very strict on what you call the medical fitness test, and they definitely have to alert you, or definitely that if you get to fail the medical fitness test, then definitely you will have to pay ticket back to your country. So definitely all those things are definitely should understand that, am I fit enough? Am I fit enough to stand for 12 hours? Most of us think that being a security guard or going for a security guard is a mere walkover, that you'll only be sitting. There are some particular occasions where you are not going to sit. You'll be standing for either 12 hours or 9 hours or 8 hours, depending on what kind of supervision and which kind of location that you have. So you should have that in mind, that I should be able to stand for what you call long hours. Yes. As you are going for that interview, do you have some of the basics of what you call a security? Do you have some of the basic life skills that definitely can enable you, or can tell this recruiter that you can be an easy person to learn, or you can be that person can take over, or can be easily to learn whatever is being taught to you? So most of us just I'll just go and try, and we ended up failing the interview questions. And most of you will agree with me. You've paid agents, and after paying the agents will schedule for interview. Then after you fail the interview, not being recruited, then you will have to demand money from the agent. This agent is not going to give you the money. He will tell you, I scheduled for the interview. So it was your part. So as we are going in these interview questions, go with one mindset that I'm going to pass the interview. I should be among these people that should be selected. That is what you have to know. Yes. Contrarily, for something that definitely should understand, is that be simple, precise, answer back what is being asked for. Let's say, for example, someone asks you about the experience as a security guard. Yes, if you are an entry level, if you do not have any experience, let's say someone, they require the experience of 2 years or 4 years, and you do not have the experience, be simple and be rightful of this interviewer. Tell him, I don't have experience, but I'm one person who is very fast at learning, and regarding my former position, I was able to have some basics within the security sector which have shaped my career. This person will say, wow, this is a different character. And you recruit you basing on that knowledge and based on that answering that you've given that person. Then also be confident. Some of us, when we go, how are you confident? Confidence starts from how you address, how you answer, and how you present yourself. Most of us, we've gone to these interviews like we are thinking like we are going to the market, or we're thinking we're going to somewhere which is, this person interviewing is going to look at that as yourself. So before we look at other questions that are being asked, what is your background, what is your age, your main experience, the first interview question of a security guard for you to work in the guard starts with you. How have you presented yourself? When you are being recruited from your home country, how do you present yourself when you go to that interview that is scheduled for recruitment? So you should be that person that when you stand, you definitely have to believe that when I stand in front of this person, I should be the person only to be recruited. Okay? Have that in mind, that I should be the right person to be recruited. And that one begins with you. And most of you, you fail that because you cannot even represent yourself. And something that else definitely I need to let you know right now what is happening is that you'll have to go for what you call certification. For people who are in Dubai, you understand. For people who are in Abu Dhabi, for people who are in Qatar, you'll agree with me, you'll have what you call certifications. Those certifications, you'll have to go for interviews, or you'll have to go for what you call exams, classes, for you to prove that you can work. And if you definitely cannot prove yourself from the start of the interview, then this person is not going to recruit you. This person will say, you are not a candidate for me to take. He's going not to pick you because he thinks you're not confident enough. He thinks you don't have the sufficient qualities for you to be recruited as a security guard. So consider these small basic tips that I give you, that definitely as you get it right now, that when you are planning to go for that interview, you go knowing that I'm going to pass an interview, that I should be the prospect, or I should be the number one candidate that should be selected for this particular job. Hope I've tried to share something for you. By the way, something else you need to understand is the job of a security guard. You must be able to work for more than 8 hours. This will normally depend on which kind of particular individuals or particular roles or what you call locations. So if you feel you are not physically fit to stand for more than 8 hours, I'll really recommend you not to go for that job, because you'll waste whatever you have to waste, and you'll be terminated or you'll be got up because you cannot deliver. So definitely knowing that this is the crunch for you and I'm going for this job, you should make sure that you can stand for those hours and you are capable or you're physically fit to stand for those hours. Yes, sometimes it comes a little bit very tricky and very hard, especially when you're looking at these jobs. But I'm telling you, some of these things, some of these small mistakes we tentatively tend to do when we are looking for these jobs in the Gulf, especially for people that have come in your country to do interview, it starts with us. So make sure you be yourself. Make sure you stand out yourself and say, I'm the only person that can be recruited, and this is exactly that I want. Hope I've tried to share something for you. Thank you so much. See you again in the next video. Call the country inside Qatar, you have a lot of options. You're in Dubai, you have in Kuwait. You are not like someone who's outside. For you, you are partially inside. It becomes a little bit very easier. I always still telling people that if you need to transfer from one career to another, make sure that most of your free time you pass, the free time that you get, let's say it might be your day off, and it's comparatively not on a Friday, not on the other day, try to use that day to try to sketch and see where can I go after here, which career can I go in after here. That's the better way. Yes, you can move to door. There are always door-to-door advertisements. There are always walk-in interviews for you to go to that can also enable you to get a job. If you're in Qatar, we have connections. We have people from connections. People have seen a job, they can give it out. We have people who have seen somewhere, hello, I have this, I've seen this. Are you eligible for this? You can try it out. That's how the kind of connection that we have.
There are workshops that are being advertised free of charge entries. Go there. You'll meet people. You'll meet prospect human resource managers. You'll meet managers in there. Try to prove yourself and the end of the other. Then also another thing that I'll definitely let people who are living in Qatar, if you're living in Qatar, another thing I talked about, what we call offering yourself for internship, offering yourself for free work for a given hours of time in a month at a particular company. This company, after you working, it may not be very advantage for only the company, but it's going to be for the advantage of you, the person that is working for that company. Being that you are doing free work, you know what is your main target. Your main target will be recommendation, and your main target will be, in case they need such kind of skill, you will be the first person this company will think of hiring than hiring someone who is outside the scope or someone they've never seen. So most of these things keep on working, and definitely when you try to use those kind of small tricks, you can be able, or you'll be able to find a job easily, and no more so long, you may be able to find a job that is within your career or within your direction that you want to move in the next years. So probably that's the best tips that I will give you, especially myself, because that is definitely what I use, and that is what is my always best strategies when I want to look for a job or look for something else in another career.
Thank you so much, by the way. It's Mex, or if it's your first time, by the way, don't forget